Hello everyone, this is a LEGO Speed Champions 2-pack of BMWs. Comes with the M4 GT3 and the M Hybrid V8 prototype style car. 676 pieces between the two of them with two minifigures, one driver for each. I built this live in a charity stream over on Twitch and it cost me $45 US. The prototype car looks more like the real thing to me that it's based on. Just its proportions overall are pretty darn right. This is a longer vehicle than the GT car. The only thing that's definitely not right here is the size of the wheels and tires. However, those wheels and tires are new. It's a newer piece with an interesting, just a little bit of texture on the tires themselves and a rounded shape to the shoulders. It's just exciting to me to get new stuff. And thankfully, they did use gray colored axle pins inside of there. I'm sure there had to be some arguments to make that happen, to allow that to happen internally, with LEGO always wanting to use the tan color for these ones that don't have the friction in them. But thankfully, they went with the gray, which was the correct decision here for sure. Yes, there are a ton of stickers used here. And I will show you the sticker sheet later on at the normal spot, but lining up the stickers and figuring out the most optimal way to do it for me for this one was pretty tough, partially because there are so many and partially just because of the big, large geometric shapes that are used all throughout, and the fact that LEGO never makes its stickers full width. They always have gaps. And in some places like here, I just had to give in and just center things the way that they're designed to be in the first place. I think ultimately here, after the fact, I probably could have moved this whole row back, so at least you'd be connecting with the black, but then you'd have even stranger vertical striations in there, longitudinal striations in there with the white, and then the blue here would be even farther away from what it's supposed to be connecting to, this section down here with the azure, and then this blue. That's a print right there though. But yeah, it was rough for me. The reason that I personally try to optimize these a little bit is because I care about this stuff. I keep all of my Speed Champions cars. Unlike most of the things that I review, which are for you, I like cars. And specifically, I made the decision early on to collect all the Speed Champions cars, except for the Mercedes Formula One team gift one pack, which has the same car as you could get at retail, but the one pack box in particular was very exclusive, and now it's extraordinarily expensive. So I'm allowing myself to not collect that one, but the others I keep for myself, and I want them to be good. So I'm not doing anything that's unusual or an advanced technique. I just try to bring some things together to minimize gaps where it makes sense, and it was just difficult throughout this to kind of plan that out. I like this. I like the use of the blue colored roller skate piece there. Very large piece used for the fin. Just the height of it is immense. It does have stickers on both sides. They extended that onto the wing with the use of a single tile there. No, that's not an illegal technique. It has never been an illegal technique. The rear of this just generally is relatively simple compared to many other cars that we've gotten in the past, but I think this is probably my favorite area of the whole thing, with the relatively new piece right here, relatively new design of slope piece that's on sloped on two axes. That and then the side pods. The side pods weren't as interesting to build to me, but I think the end result is especially nice on them. Again, using a relatively new piece here, or a pair of them. These two right here, the 2x2 notched curve pieces. They just fit in there really nice. I probably could have aligned these stickers just a little bit better, but I tried to do something with it. But this one is aesthetically pleasing when it's done. This was more enjoyable to just feel all come together. Just the LEGO math, the way it worked out, was satisfying. The canopy here is really interesting. It has a good print around the edge here. It goes across the top a little bit. It has a good print down here, right there, the black and white. And then this is a sticker. That little bit of red at the bottom is a sticker. This is a sticker here in the middle. This is a sticker on top as well. And they're clear backed. That's why there's zero opacity to them. That's supposed to be white. That right there is supposed to be the same white as this, the same white as any other white that you see here. Well, you do see two whites because sticker white and plastic white are not the same. but that's supposed to be white as well. It's just clearly not. The overall design effect is okay, but I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know why they went with this clear back thing that just ends up looking worse. And of course, a print would have been nice for the whole thing. But interestingly, this right here is actually printed right up. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Maybe. Yep, there we go. This is printed almost right up to the chine. Remember with the Lotus, the last Lotus that they did, Lotus streetcar, they printed pretty far away. They were staying away. So whatever is going on with this, it seems like the printing options have improved, but still they went with this, had to go with this hybrid design with the stickers as well. It's just not the best. The driving compartment here is very small, but respectable. Got the print for the steering wheel there. It's the whole control system. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble today with the focus, but that's very nice. Good print there. And most other things, like I said, are just done with stickers. So the interior of this, not that great, but I mean, it is a race car. So not a big deal, honestly. Overall, high level of satisfaction with this for me. Stickers were tough, even though I do stickers all the time. I mean, I do Gundam builds, plastic model builds, stickers, decals, water slides, dry transfers, a lot of stuff that's significantly more difficult than anything we deal with in the world of Lego. But I can completely understand for folks who are not used to that and who want to just put pieces together, because after all, it is just Lego. It can be frustrating to come across a project like this where so much of it involves applying stickers. Oh, did I mention something about stickers? I did, didn't I? A couple of the pieces that you saw on that last one had stickers applied across compound curves, something that I've never seen Lego allow, or at least that I have not seen Lego allow in their system, in their sets, in recent decades, in the past couple decades, I would say. This one, technically, I believe this is a compound curve, not just a cone. You know, they've put stuff on cones, but this one actually curves away from you. And then also the windscreen, this right here is on a somewhat compound curve. It's not that difficult to apply, and the risk of getting it wrong isn't that high because it's black against a very, very dark piece. But it's just interesting to see them changing things up a little bit, some of the rules. This car looks so much better to me in person, especially the front end, than it did in the pictures. And especially when I look at it from this side that has more white, I can see the car here, whereas in the pictures, I really had trouble with it. It really didn't look realistic to me proportion-wise. I still have trouble with the greenhouse looking much too large. Like all of this right here, it's like it's going for a super deformed chibi kind of look, where the forehead has started to be enlarged, but the rest of the body has not yet. So all of this here is too big, but it's not as bad as I thought. All of this here is really good. The front clip, the entire front clip is good. The rear tires look tiny to me, more so than the fronts. It's awkward. And this being all black right here is very awkward to me. Yeah, that shape doesn't really work out so well for me. And I think exacerbates the feeling that the dome, all of this up here, is larger than it actually is relative to everything else. The build of this, though, was fantastic. As a fan of cars and how cars are made, and performance cars in particular, there's a lot of stuff that you build in here that you don't see once it's done, that feels like you're building a Lego version of a model car. It's very, yeah, there's definitely a move in the Speed Champions group in general to make their cars feel more like model cars and not just really good looking high-end small Lego cars. There's something additional going on here that's above and beyond, and I like it. It's enjoyable for me as someone who partially identifies as a gearhead and has definitely been a gearhead in the past. The way this wing is done is nicely. The Per 4 Mance parts. Per 4 Mance parts. I put those stickers as close as they could be together, side to side. And yet there's still a huge gap That's just a mistake that they could have done better on that. I like the rear, the rear lights on this. Those are done nicely, but the interior and the stuff that you just don't see is the best part about it to me. A lot of it ends up affecting what's outside. They are making really good use of newer parts like the tile pieces, the 1x2 tiles that are notched. Those are working out great and they're being used a lot. Also, I didn't point out on the other car, this piece officially does exist. It's like a cheese grater or a double deep cheese slope piece, but with no texture on it. Like a cheese grater with no texture. Thank goodness. So many companies have had that piece for so many years now, and Lego's just been behind. Finally, that exists. So, yeah. Good stuff. Let's look inside of here. Speaking of good stuff, you do a lot of the interior work early on. Oh, and it's nice. Look. A little bit of roll cage. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Smart using the number 2 for the current gear selector there, so it works right side up or upside down, the same piece that's used on the other car. But yeah, this is pretty nice for a Lego version of interior. Texture down below over there as well. It's very nice, and you kind of build an engine in there. It's not a full-on blocking heads and everything, but it really looks like a race car engine does today. A lot of ducting around it and everything, but it's down in there and it's satisfying. I don't know how much of it is intended specifically to be actually an engine and how much of it is just prep that uses a good selection of colors to kind of trick the mind a little bit, just prep for other shaping that needs to be done, but it's very, very satisfying. It is unfortunate though that ultimately when this is done from a distance, from some angles, if you see the proportions being wrong, you can't unsee them, especially with the wheels and tires. Thankfully, again, with the axles, they use the gray color rather than the tan like they've been doing. So I'm very happy about that. We'll always have to call that out because for so long I've been complaining about them doing the opposite and letting colors be visible that should not be afterwards. I actually think that the front end is done kind of perfectly. I don't think that could have been done better in Lego form. A lot of people dislike the look of the BMWs now because they're different, and that's fine. I get that, and they might be just off-putting in general, just the look of them. I personally celebrate the fact that they are trying to be brave and trying to have a look that isn't just like every other car just about today, as packaging and profit and aerodynamics dictate the design of optimal cars for each style. But I do think that Lego captured this well here. Again, lining up stickers was rough. Oh my, that blue doesn't match particularly well there, and all this gap around the edge. You know what I really feel is needed at this point? If Lego is going to be allowing themselves to make us put stickers around compound curves now, which they had not done previously, they need to allow themselves also to budget for a second sticker sheet. Include a normal sticker sheet for regular people, and then include a collector's edition sticker sheet where the stickers are the full width of each piece. Because it can be done. It can be done easily. And I think it should be done for this line. They should start that with this line now. I've mentioned it before. I've talked about it before. What can we do about the stickers to make at least the process better? A lot of people want to just say, hey, just make everything print. And that's fine to ask for. That's absolutely fine to ask for. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think the next best thing would be just let us have stickers that we, model makers, folks a little bit more serious, looking for a better finished product, can apply if we choose, and then leave just the normal ones that give you a little bit more give for your average consumer and folks who aren't quite so serious and maybe don't quite have the dexterity or the time and interest in lining everything up perfectly. Yep, give us the option. It's time now. These things are expensive enough. They're advanced enough. It's moving in that direction. Let's go all the way. Here are the set's 2 minifigures. This blue color is Dark Azure, and each of them has a little white patch that is clearly not opaque enough, not nearly, not even close. That white there should be this color here. That's not good, and I'm not going to be okay with it because we do pay very high prices for this stuff. No printing on the side is unfortunate. Would have been nice to get printing on the side, but I think the minifigures just are not one of the more important things for these sets. They should at least have a baseline level of quality, and I think that is below the baseline, but printing on the sides isn't as necessary to me. Thankfully, they do include alternate headgear pieces for each, which is wonderful. I definitely have to celebrate that, so I'll go ahead and swap these around and give you the other color of helmet. So you get one black helmet, one white helmet. That looks great. That all set up there. And here's the hairpiece for this person here. I don't know if these are specifically inspired by specific M team drivers or not. They're usually not, but there may be a little bit of influence at the design. They're definitely not licensed representations of any particular individuals, but the design team often will have somebody in mind, and I just don't know. I don't know the team personally. The designs look good, but the production is not. These are the leftover pieces, and when I reviewed the Mustang Dark Horse from this season, I mentioned that they used, instead of hollow studs, they used flower pieces, little red flower pieces throughout, which seemed really, really odd to me, and I didn't know why. It didn't make sense, but a lot of commenters were quick to come through with some very serious explanations and theories about it. This set destroys all of those theories because this set uses a whole bunch of hollow studs, specifically in red even. I don't know what the decisions are, why they choose regular hollow studs for this and the flower for the other set that's being made at the exact same time. Nothing logical makes sense, but it's interesting. And then here's the sticker sheet combination. So first of all, the sticker sheet for the GT3, for the GT car, the street styled car, right? It's a fair bit, but nothing outrageous for what it is. And then this is for the prototype car. Whee! Prototype car on the left. That's not it, because there's this one also. This is the one that is clear backed that I think should not have been. There's a reason that they chose clear backed, but I just think they should just cut the things more properly. It's probably because of the thickness, how thin it gets in here. But again, these sets are just getting so advanced, and you have to be so careful with so much of it. The average, very, very low end consumer is not going to be doing all of this stuff and certainly not going to be enjoying it. Let's get some better quality out there. Just assume that folks who are going to be going to this extent have the patience and want a better result. So yeah, die cut better. Give us the wide option, please. At least the pricing on these 2 packs is typically a good deal better than it is on the individual packs. This again was $45 US. For some strange reason, it's $50 by default, though. Some countries in the Eurozone get discounts away from Lego.com, and Lego web stores get discounts on day one, which is great for them, but not all do. Some have to pay more than the base Eurozone price. It's £45 UK, which is also significantly more right now, at least than the US price. And then it's $60 Canadian, which is close to our price. And we both have to pay taxes on top of that as well. I think the value here is pretty decent, all things considered, for the amount of content in total that you receive. A lot of people, again, I acknowledge, want all prints, and that's perfectly valid, 100% valid, period. Yeah, I personally am still okay with getting stickers, especially when a set's going to need so many, and in many cases, you need to have decorations attached to multiple places. I think that the compromises done for this canopy right here are not good, with the white being ridiculous dark gray, the red being almost invisible from some angles and from some distances, but it's not that big of a deal. Overall, the car still looks really good to me. The gaps are a much bigger issue for me. Thankfully, this one looks so much better than I thought, but it is time now also. Yeah, I'm asking for a lot of things, but they asked me to ask for it because they keep raising the bar. It's time for some bigger wheels and tires now. They need to figure out how to make that happen. I know they've already done so much to try to optimize the chassis tubs on the street cars and also the wheels themselves and the fender pieces. They need to go farther because these wheels and tires are just too small for this scale. Compared to a minifig, they're way too big. But compared to a minifig, these entire cars are redonkulous in size, absolutely stupendous. It makes no sense. They are sized to allow minifigs to fit inside because that's ultimately what people want. Ooh, this is a rough one. Really interesting. Definitely advanced building experience that I enjoyed. Advanced sticker experience that I didn't particularly enjoy. End results is pretty darn good, especially if you don't see the weirdnesses of the proportions of this one. Like from this side, yeah. I'm happy with that. So thank you for making it through all my thoughts. A lot of passion from me about these, again, given that I am collecting them for myself and I do like cars. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.